Hey everybody, it's Aiden here once again, and welcome back to some more Assetto Corsa. Now today I've got something very special for you. This is the 2017 Ferrari SF70H, the car which Kimi Raikkonen and Sebastian Vettel are currently using in the 2017 F1 World Championship. Now this is part of the Ferrari 70th Anniversary Celebration Pack, which is available on Steam right now for, let me just check, £5.59, which is about €5.99. So it's not expensive at all. And in this pack, you get 7 cars. And I think this one has actually been chosen by the community. The 7 cars are the 1962 250 GTO, the 1967 330 P4, the 1967 312, the 1984 GTO, the Ferrari F2004 Formula 1 car, the 812 Superfast from 2017, and of course this, the SF70H. So, what is there to say about the SF70? It is the 63rd single-seater designed and built. Sorry, it's the 63rd single-seater designed and built by Scuderia Ferrari to take part in the 2017 championship, and is born out of a regulation change that is without precedent in this category. In the past, regulations generally went in the direction of slowing the cars down. However, this year, the rule changes were made to speed the cars up, meaning the cars have more aerodynamic downforce and more mechanical grip. So there are several differences between the 668 project and Ferraris from the recent past. The lengthened nose, the arrow-shaped wing, the 668 was the sort of the prototype name for the car, and there's the shark fin on the engine cover and the various appendages that are now bolted onto it, completely different from 2016, where the cars were much, I don't know what the word is to say, they look like they've been put into a squashing machine. And been squashed from both ends, whereas this one looks like it's been squashed from the top. But I have to say that they've done a fantastic job of modelling this. I probably will drive the F2004 at some point and compare it to ASR's version of the car. Oh, that's a great angle right there, isn't it? Sorry, I was just admiring my positioning of the camera there. But yeah, this car is very quick, as we've seen. Dominated testing. Won the first race in Australia. Seems to have petered off a little bit. Failed to finish in Singapore. They didn't even manage to reach the first corner at Singapore, which was absolutely horrific if you are a Ferrari fan, but great news if you're a Mercedes fan, I guess. But unlike other cars that you get in Assetto Corsa, it shows you the horsepower, the torque, and it has like a lot of the stats in the car selection screen. This doesn't, for obvious reasons, given that Ferrari doesn't want to give away the figures of its engine performance. But if we're going to look at the technical specifications of the car, we are looking at a carbon fibre and honeycomb composite structure. The wheelbase is 148 inches long, which is 3,760 millimetres, which is 3.7 metres long. It's actually the shortest wheelbase of any car on the grid currently. It has a 1.6 litre direct injection V6 supercharged engine limited to 15,000 RPM in a mid-mounted rear-wheel drive layout. Now, the actual engine in a race trim, or even qualifying trim for that matter, will only hit about 12,000 RPM just to save on the engine and fuel flow and other bits and pieces like that. We've got 8 forward gears, 1 reverse gear. The weight, not including the driver, lubricants and water, is 728 kilos. It doesn't specify what that is in pounds. Uses Shell V-Power fuel and has Pirelli P0 dry tyres and uses Pirelli Cinturato. It's Italian, not Spanish, you dumb fuck. Cinturato wet tyres. Driven by Sebastian Vettel and Kimi Raikkonen, and we're going to be driving Kimi's car today. So, now we've gone over the technical specs, let's go for a walk around the car. I mean, Kunos have done a really good job with the textures here, so kudos to Kunos. Yeah. But we've got the carbon fibre detailing, got all the details present on the real car. They've probably had access to the model at some point. I bet non-disclosure agreements were signed left, right and centre to do this. But we've got all the logos present. This is obviously pre-Monza, as the car doesn't have the 70th anniversary sticker where the Scuderia Ferrari logo is, which is actually a Marlboro logo. Did you know that? You probably did if you are a Ferrari fan. If you're not a Ferrari fan, that's meant to be a Marlboro logo. But we've got the monkey seat, which is that that bit just in front of the... I've got my cursor turned off, so I can't really point at anything, but if you see that thing sticking out of the rain light, that's called the monkey seat, which helps with the downforce. And we can get right in on the diffuser, which all looks really good. Mercedes, if you're watching, there you go. I'm going to take screenshots of this and make sure Adrian knew he's got them in his inbox by tomorrow morning. But what the best bit I love about the cars this year is the rear wing. It just looks so cool, but serves a great purpose. And we can zoom right in on the tyres as well. There's a lot of detail right in there, as we come to expect now from Assetto Corsa. OZ wheels, or Oz wheels. And look how wide the tyres are. It's like looking at something from the 70s. Getting really close in again at the side. It's really good to look at the cars in this much detail, to be honest. I love doing this. I could sit here for ages and just look around. Nose cone's very wide up here. Still going with the 2016 style noses, albeit longer. Still got the little penis shaped bit on the end, but when you're sitting in the car you're not going to see that. But it, you know, I say again, it looks fantastic. And you wouldn't normally hear me say that about a Ferrari, but it does look great. Zooming right in on the details again, just to show you. I mean, the Italian flag bit up there looks a bit blurry, but you know, like I said, when you're in the car, you're not really going to notice that. So let's go in and have a look on the inside of the car. This is initial impressions. This is the first time I've ever seen the car, so we've got some things to look at here. So I'll just itch my shoulder. There we go. We've got the Ferrari Coach Builders stamp down there on the left-hand side. The Twitter handle at Scuderia Ferrari right there. No blur on that. A map and Monza on the right-hand side. The pull tabs for the release system for the headrest. And a exact replica of the current Ferrari steering wheel. We'll have to look at that in more detail when we get onto track. And I've decided we're going to go to Spa to test this car, because we've got the Camel Straight, we've got Blanchiment and all that going on, and yeah, it's a good mix of high speed and different kinds of corners, so we can really see how fast we can go in this car around that track. That's what I meant to say. But yeah, we've got like fuel level, we've got lap, kph, gear, RPM, lap time. So I say delta lap. You can't zoom in the cockpit, unfortunately. But if we look around, oh, I've got the world's worst mouse again. You know, a bit blurry there, but who cares? We're not going to see it while we're driving. We've got the details on the camera there, and on the cameras at the top, you can see the lenses. If we move back round again, I'll just point it out. We've got the camera staring at the face of the driver, staring in Kimi's face as he drives around, going, "Give me the steering wheel. Whoa, give me the fucking steering wheel. I need my steering wheel." That was funny. But anyway, let's get this thing over to the Ardennes Forest down into Belgium, and let's see what this car will do. Welcome to Belgium! Anyway, I've gone out and I've done a few laps just to get a feel for the car. I would like to say this is literally the first time I've driven the car, but I thought I'd learn more about the hybrid systems and how they're displayed on the steering wheel. And it's actually a lot easier than it initially appears. So if we start in the top left-hand corner, we'll make our way around clockwise. We've got our DRS lights and our rev lights at the top with the LEDs, green, red, and into blue. The flashing lights that you see on the steering wheel just mean that our pit lane speed limiter is turned on. We've also got our delta. We're the only car on track, so I don't know if it's delta to personal best or delta to overall fastest. We've got the time. That's ticking away nicely in real time. At least I hope it is. In the middle. Then we've got the engine temperature in degrees Celsius, which is slowly going down. Now, next to that, we've got what would be the blue bar on the RSS car, and I reviewed that car the other day, and you can see that by clicking on the card that's appearing in the top the top right-hand corner of your screen. Now, as you're driving along, your blue bar, the magical hybrid go juice, as I have been calling it, will deplete over time. And that is represented by the blue number 100, so at 100% full battery charge, and the graphical display underneath that. So as we're driving around, that will deplete, and as we come off the accelerator to lift and coast, or hit the brakes for the bus stop, Lacombe, Fania, Pouon, wherever it is, actually you wouldn't really brake for Pouon, but you know what I mean, it will recharge. And the idea is to keep at least some battery charge to supplement your V6 turbo engine, because the torque delivery of a battery pack is off or on. It's binary. It will give you all the torque all the time, regardless of where you are in the rev range. Then we've got our speed in kilometers an hour. No, sorry, that red 0 is our revs. I apologize. Above that is our speed in kilometers an hour. Then our lap, current number of laps, and then our fuel level. And finally, the bar at the top is the ERS, which is essentially the glorified KERS system that they have these days, which is depleting at a certain rate over the course of the lap. And it deploys at certain points as well. So it could deploy more ERS energy in first, second, and third gear if you want to make a fast getaway, or it will deploy more at the top end at places like Monza to give you that little bit extra top speed. So we've got a few different programs we can play with over the course of this test session, and we're going to move into that right now. Nice segue. We've got charging, which essentially just, doesn't deploy much ERS and allows you to recharge your the bottom bar, which it's probably useful under safety car conditions, or yellow flags, or virtual safety car formation lap, that sort of thing. Out laps as well. Balanced low, balanced high, overtake, so we're going to have more ERS deployment probably in the mid-range. Top speed, we're going to have more ERS deployment at the top range, maybe in 7th, 8th gear maybe. And then hot lap, which is just like, I don't know, huge amounts of ERS deployments, but we're going to leave it on balanced low for the purposes of this initial test session. And then we're going to progressively move up and then put it into hot lap mode and see how fast we can go. MGUK recovery is the kinetic recovery system, and that is the blue 100 and the graphical bar right at the bottom, and that just basically means how fast, or how much your battery will recharge when you hit the brakes or come off the accelerator pedal. MGUH mode, this is the bit I didn't know worked in the RSS car, and basically what it means is if you've got it set to motor, it supplements the charge of the MGUK, which is the bottom bit here, and then when you have it set to battery, it supplements the state of charge of the MGUH. I think that's the names of them. But anyway, we'll rewind, pretend I never said that, and go back again. If it's on motor, it supplements the charging ability of the bottom bar, and when it's on battery, it supplements the charge of your ERS. That's what it means. Engine braking, well, the higher you've got that turned up, the more it behaves like normal braking, and the more you turn it down, the more rear downforce you get at the expense of more fuel consumption. So I'm gonna leave it on on 6. It's roughly halfway. Aero, where we can adjust the front left and the front right. I didn't know they could do that, so I've learned something today. And the rear wing, obviously, we can adjust that. Alignment, we've got our camber, our toe, front and rear. Dampers, generic. Heave dampers, no idea what any of that means. Advanced suspension rates, our basic suspensions, and our pit stop strategy, but we're not going to concern ourselves with a pit stop because we're not racing. So I'm going to put in about 30 litres of fuel, which should give us about 10 laps to play with. And as we've been sat here for nearly, well, just over 6 minutes, we better go out and test this baby. See what this red arrow can do. Let's see how many prancing horses we've got under the bonnet. Up through the gears. through Eau Rouge, which is just a fantastic feeling no matter what car you're driving. As we come onto Camel Straight, if I deploy some ERS, you can see that right there. And then we'll slam on the brakes for Lake Combe. Is it Lake Combe or Lake Combe? I don't know. But as we brake into Rivage here, you'll see the state of charge go back up. There we go. You can see loads of skid marks where I've been testing before and binned it. Who on now? Flat. Flat through Pouon. I won't be able to do that when I turn the engine up. Through Stavelot and Malmedy. Dump some more ERS. You can see a green light on the far right hand side there. 320 kilometers an hour, which is 200 miles an hour for you Imperials. Braking for the bus stop now. We're at 70% charge, which should be enough for a timed lap. Well, it'd be more than enough. Bit of short shifting to contain the rear tyres. And then we'll brake for the notorious La Source hairpin. Missed the apex. Bit of a slide from the rear, managed to catch it. Deploy some ERS coming into Eau Rouge. And then across the crest at Radion. And then we'll hit the DRS button. Deploy a bit more ERS energy. Over 200 miles an hour. Oh, a bit squirrely through Lake Combe. I'll say Lake Combe because then I can do the I drove like a hairdresser gag. Rivage. So easy to turn in this car. No name. Sans nom, as we're in Belgium. Who on? Flat once more. Now I'm a driver that likes to turn once. I can't do this wrestling with the steering wheel like Hamilton or Alonso or Verstappen. I'm like Jenson Button or Damon Hill or Jimmy Clark. Smooth but fast. That's my driving style. Yours may differ. Braked a bit too early there. Forgot to deploy the DRS. So there's so much going on in this car. You've got to hand it to the modern driver that they've got to do what they do while managing all these systems. Oh yes, I love that. ...340 kilometers. Much smoother into Lake Combe. Oh, commentator's curse. See that? That's brake once, turn once, accelerate once. That's my driving style. Completely fluffed it through there. Let's see if we can make some time back up. No. And we're running out of juice. Granted motor. Put that to charging. I'll just drag the brake for a bit. Get some regeneration going on. Turn the engine brake up a bit. Actually, turn that. Yeah. Let's go for balanced high this time. Oops. So we're going to have a bit more ERS deployment. Bit of trail braking into the source. Not in a V8 supercar now. So I was driving V8 supercars yesterday, so I did a lot of trial braking in that. And there is a noticeable difference in acceleration now that we've turned the wick up slightly. Again, if you're too greedy with the gas pedal, it will spin. The car's got to be as straight as you possibly get it before you even think about putting your foot down. Turn in a bit too early into Rivage. Through Sans Nom. Oh, turned too early for Pouon as well. Almost lost it. I won't bother deploying up here because I'm about to run out. And if you run out of juice, you will notice a distinct lack of acceleration and speed. Oh, beautiful. As we go, a full second quicker than our best. So what we'll do is we'll come round again. And we will charge coming up here. No, maybe. Put it back onto motor. But I mean, like, the steering on this is just fantastic. Straight out of the box as well. No, no mucking around with the setup really. I think all I did was adjust the camber by one click, and that's it. So I've probably made absolutely no difference on the overall handling characteristics of the car, but it is such a good car to drive. If you're new to the hybrid systems, this is a good car to start with, because it's easy to drive. It's forgiving to an extent with your accelerator inputs, but it will punish you if you do get too greedy. Like I say, it's just got a fantastic amount of turning, and it feels nimble. That will be because of the short wheelbase, but you actually get the feeling that it's a very nimble car. Stick on to battery, because I'm going to need it. Turn that down to about 60%. So on its lowest setting, we're only doing 290 kilometers an hour. Hot lap. Right then. Wish me luck. Bit squirrely on the exit. Doesn't like that exit curb. Hug the wall. Oh, it's a fantastic feeling. It is hold your breath town through there. Put it back to balanced high for the middle sector because we're not going to need the top speed. Oh, understeer. Turn the recovery up. So this is what a real driver would have to do over the course of a race. I mean, a setup will be required because there's still bits where the car's not handling as it should, really. Ah, we've run out of juice. And this is what happens. You can see that my time is nowhere near as quick as it was. As we lock up into the bus stop. But can we still get a quicker lap than what we had before? 3/10-ish. Let's leave it on top speed mode and see what we can get out of the car. Love going through Eau Rouge. Absolutely love it. Manual deployment. Maximum top speed. Bit of a slide through Lake Calm. Managed to save it. Balanced high now. Oh, he's done it again. Oh, we've lost a bit of time now. Oh, shit. And we've run out of juice. We've got enough fuel for one more lap, I'm guessing. Just get as much charge as I can. Let's just whack it back on balanced high. One more lap, come on. DRS and then top speed. And then back to balanced high. Oh, a bit of a drift. And that's wrecked the lap. We might be able to claw it back if we get through Sans Norm without going wide. No, 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 no! Oh, no, 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 no. Oh, well. It was good while it lasted. Whew. But absolute joy to drive this car. And it's a very good introduction to managing hybrids as well. Very difficult to manage the hybrids, but I think once you've found a bit that works, I think leaving it on balanced high probably works for this track, but other tracks, you know, you might be able to juggle it a bit better. So what we're going to do is I'm going to reset that back to 100%. I'll take it back to the pits and then do the external shots, because I get the feeling this car is going to sound amazing on the externals. If you want to drive this car yourself, you can download it from Steam for €5.99. It's about £5.50, I think, £5.60. And yeah, that's pretty much it. So I'm going to do the external shots I'll crank the volume and yeah, get the 70th anniversary pack if you want to drive this absolute monster. And it's, like I keep saying, absolute joy to drive. So until next time, I've been Aidan Millward. Have a great day wherever you live in the world. Please remember to like and subscribe, and I'll see you again very, very soon. So until then, goodbye.